ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the CD Racoola Show. Today's show, we will be taking a look at the very intriguing and very scary 2018 film Hereditary. Before we conjure up another episode, I would be forever indebted to you guys out there in YouTube land if you would pretty please, with a bloody cherry on top, hit the subscribe button. Oh, that would be so delicious of you to subscribe to the show. I don't know why I got tongue-tied there. Forgive me. However, in this episode, you should beware because spoilers are a-coming. So if you haven't seen the Hereditary film, pause this right now. Pause the CD Racoola Show, scamper off and watch the film, then come back and I promise I'll be right here waiting for you. I actually feel like this film is good to watch twice in a row. The first time you watch it, you're just sitting there trying to figure out what the heck is going on. But the second watch, you really notice some things, some stuff that led to the ultimate grisly and strange conclusion of this film. So the movie follows a family of four and all the disturbing things that happen to them after the grandma dies. Bye-bye, Grammy. Charlie being the strange youngest daughter, Peter being the older high school-age brother, Annie being the mommy, and Steve being the daddy. In the beginning of the film, we get the impression that something weird is going on in this family, and that the daughter, Charlie, may be a little off, as we see her cutting the heads off of birds with scissors and doodling some weird little things in her notey book. The thing that was truly shocking, I mean, I am a 600-year-old vampire, and this part shocked me to my old bones, was when Charlie was, who had an allergic reaction to nuts in the cake of the party that her brother Peter took her to, and he's speeding to the hospital in his car, speeding her to the hospital, and she sticks her head out the window, hitting a pole, and knocking her head right off her body. Oops, there goes her noggin. Off with her head, so they say. But seriously, guys, it was a pretty slow burn horror film up to that point, but that brought me right to attention, that's for sure. Of course, the family is seriously grieving from the accidental beheading of poor Charlie, and that is when the now deceased Charlie's mom, Annie, meets a lady at a grief counseling support group that she thinks is helping her through some emotional things. What she doesn't know is that the lady is actually part of a coven of witches that are bent on taking Peter's body and using it to resurrect Payman, one of the 8 kings of hell. Oh, Payman, scary, scary. Oh, by the way, if you thought Charlie was acting weird, it was because she was in fact Payman. But Payman was in a female body, Charlie's body, and Payman was looking for a male body. So yeah, here was this king of hell trapped in Charlie's body. So basically, yes, if you're looking to defeat one of the kings of hell, just feed him some macadamia nuts, or throw some peanut butter on him. The nuts will protect us. They have peanut allergies. The nuts protect us from evil. Nuts are the ultimate weapon, mind you. Anyway, so continuing on with the story, you had these witches, and they eventually do bring Payman back, and poor young Peter, he keeps hearing that little clucking sound of the tongue that Charlie used to do, and honestly, it was really creepy. I'll try to imitate it here for you. Maybe a little more tongue. Okay, that's better. That's the best I can do. You get the point. So the father, Steve, ends up burning alive, and Annie ends up cutting off her own head with piano wire in the attic. So once again, I will say this film was extremely shocking to say the least. The scariest part to me was all the naked witches, like the gross naked smiling guy. That was just too much, come on. This film gave me some real Omen vibes, kind of, it's all for you, Damien, it's all for you, you know. Except the witches were, of course, doing it all for payment. For it was said in the show that the conjurer of Payman would be shown great secrets and power. So, of course, they brought in one of the kings of hell so they could be rich or cool or whatever. They're probably nerds. So yes, it was shocking, and again you notice lots of fun little details in your second watch. The first time you watch this film, as I said earlier, you go from trying to figure out what is going on to shocked out of your mind, so you do miss some details. Again, I'm pushing you to watch it twice. See how I keep repeating that? Okay, you're getting it. Excellent director for this film, by the way, in Ari Aster, whom also did Midsummer. Midsummer is another film that is very scary and deserving of a second watch. I have plans to review that film as well. In fact, let me jot myself a little note here, and then I'll get back to Hereditary. I'll get back to it, don't you worry. When you get to be my age, you have to write yourself notes occasionally. My brain is rotted. Note to self here, review the 2019 film Midsummer, and don't forget to get more toilet paper. The Mummy is once again stealing it. Come on, man. Whatever. I hate mummies. I'm about to go Brendan Fraser on that mummy for stealing my toilet paper. It's not cheap, you know. The cast of this film featured Toni Collette as Annie. Toni was also in the film The Sixth Sense. Talk about a movie that is fun to try to figure out. The Sixth Sense, they may take the cake on trying to figure something out in that movie. Alex Wolff played Peter. Alex was in the horror film Ode, as well as Quiet Place, Day One. I did an episode of the show on Quiet Place Day One, if you have time to check that out. Only if you have the time, though. Molly Shapiro starred as Charlie, whom lost a head. Gabriel Byrne starred as Steve the father. He was, of course, the devil in End of Days. Opposite the one and only Arnold. One of my favorite quotes from that film, End of Days, is when Arnold is talking to the devil and he's like, "You are a choir boy compared to me. A choir boy!" Oh, the irony of that statement. I like End of Days. That's a good one, too. Anywho, so yes, I like this film a lot. This is pretty high on most people's scary movie list, and with darn good reason, too. I'm going to give it super high marks on the old scarometer. Probably some of the highest marks I've given a film in a long while. So if you haven't watched the film yet, number one, I just spoiled it for you. Sorry about that, but I warned you in the beginning of this episode. I warned you. You know that. Number two, it is most definitely worth the watch. And number 3, it's certainly worth a second watch. I'll say it again. Try it. Just try it, believe me. Only if you have the time, though. Only if you have the time. I would like to thank you for joining me here on the CD Racoola show. And if you would, if you could, and you most certainly should, hit the subscribe button. I would think you are my favorite person in all of YouTube land, and there's a lot of people in YouTube land. Please join me here on the next episode of the show when I take a look at the film Hellboy, the Crooked Man. I love me some Hellboy, so that should be pretty fun. So till next time, my little bloodbags out there in YouTube land. If you ever find yourself having to fight against one of the 8 kings of hell, just remember this Hereditary film and old CD, and the fact that the demon may have a severe nut allergy. So keep a bag of peanuts in your pocket at all times. Otherwise, you may lose your head. Ta-ta, my dears. Ta-ta.